Everybody, up for sale is my Tacoma DM-10 satin finish top, back, and sides. It's a solid mahogany back and sides, solid Sitka spruce top. This is a pre-fender one made in the USA. It's got tortoiseshell binding on the top and the back, the little heel cap there, and it's very hard to see against the rosewood, but the fretboard is also bound in the tortoiseshell binding. Hopefully you can see it a little bit there. So anyway, what we're going to do is just, since I know they don't make these anymore, and many of you may have never had one in these hands, I figured you probably need a benchmark to compare it to. So my friend Jim has been kind enough to AB this with his Martin D18 Vintage, Martin D18V. So of course the benchmark is a lot higher, but the guts are kind of the same. Mahogany, solid mahogany back and side, solid Sitka spruce top. Big difference, of course, here is the Martin has the ebony, the D18 Vintage has the ebony fretboard and bridge, has a bone nut and saddle, whereas the Tacoma has a East Indian rosewood fretboard and bridge, and I imagine that the nut and the saddle are tusk. Both have plastic bridge pins. Both guitars have plastic bridge pins. But obviously, and then of course the big thing is the magical Martin bracing. Everything under the hood, of course, is what's going to differentiate this. But I think they still sound close enough that I would rather compare this in a video to this Martin D18V than to like a Yamaha FG300S. So anyway, so I guess, Jim, let's start with your Martin, just so people can kind of hear that in their head and know what to compare it to. And what we're going to do is just give you little finger style chords and then some flat pick stuff, and just A-B back and forth so you can hear the difference. Okay, now we're going to flat pick here, and sorry everyone, one thing I forgot to mention is just about a half an hour ago we restrung both these guitars with 12 gauge D'Addario EXP coated 80/20 bronze strings. So we have the exact same set of strings on both guitars. Again, I'm trying to make the only variable the guitar itself. And Jim is now going to be picking with a Dunlop PrimeTone .88 pick. thing, Jim. Let's just grab the Martin back, and one more time, let's just do some heavy strumming on just a couple of open chords, you know, maybe G, C, and D. Last thing, you guys may have noticed something peeking around the corner there. This Tacoma DM-10 does have an LR Baggs Lyric under saddle, or not under saddle, but under bridge plate transducer. I guess the bridge plate microphone, soundboard microphone, whatever they call it. So now we're going to plug in and just let you hear the Tacoma, and this will just be through our church's sound system. So you can go ahead and plug it in. And I'm going to scurry back to the sound booth and unmute the channel so you guys can hear it. Alright, here we go. And you can see how I've got the EQ set. So obviously, as you can tell, I'm just walking around with my smartphone camera and itty bitty microphone. Sorry, I don't really have a good condenser mic, but again, this is just mainly to let you know that everything works, and to let you know kind of just again a comparison with a good Martin bass line, just to see, you know, exactly how far off this is from something that most people are familiar with and have probably picked up or heard before. So thanks for checking it out.